Oh, when Bayezid I fell to Timur at the Battle of Ankara in 1402, it threw the Ottoman Empire into total chaos. The interregnum, that brutal decade-long civil war from 1402 to 1413, saw Bayezid's sons, Suleiman, Isa, Mehmet, and Musa, all fighting tooth and nail for the throne. The empire, which had been rising so strong under Murad I and Bayezid, teetered on the edge of collapse as those rival Anatolian beyliks and sneaky Byzantine plots just fueled the fire. But into this mess stepped Mehmet I, who somehow pulled Ottoman unity back together by 1413. His son, Murad II, took that and ran with it, building power and fending off a massive European crusade. From 1413 to 1451, Mehmet I and Murad II rebuilt the Ottoman state, ensuring it survived and setting up everything for the big conquest of Constantinople. Their stories? They're all about resilience, smart strategy, and real vision, guiding through internal fights and outside dangers to lock in the empire's future. Mehmet I, or Çelebi Mehmet as he's known, came into the world around 1389, the youngest of Bayezid's boys. Those Ottoman chroniclers like Aşık Paşazade and Neshri paint him as this patient, determined guy who outsmarted his brothers every time. Sources from back then, like the Byzantine historian Dukas, highlight his clever diplomacy, while Timurid records mention how he stood up early against Timur. Historians like Halil İnalcık see Mehmet as a true unifier, piecing back the empire's institutions after the interregnum wrecked everything. His rule from 1413 to 1421 was short, but man, it was vital, bringing back stability and putting Ottoman strength back on top in Anatolia and the Balkans. The interregnum kicked off right after Bayezid got captured at Ankara. Timur went and restored those rival beyliks like Karaman and Germiyan, stripping Ottoman hold on Anatolia. Bayezid's son split the Emansah, Pire. Süleyman took Edirne, Musa Bursa, Isa Balıkesir, and Mehmet Amasya. Each one claimed the throne, sparking this vicious civil war. The Byzantine Empire, led by Emperor Manuel II, jumped on the confusion, backing different princes to keep the Ottomans down. Mehmet, holding out in Amasya, turned out to be the smart one in the bunch. He made alliances with local beyliks and won over the Janissaries, the elite force Murad I started. By 1410, Mehmet had beaten Isa and taken Bursa, the heart of the Ottoman capital. Mehmet's road to winning wasn't smooth at all. Suleiman from Edirne linked up with Byzantium and Balkan allies, making him a tough rival. Musa, on the other hand, grabbed Thrace, called himself Sultan, and got popular by handing out land to warriors. Mehmet played it clever, outflanking them both and crushing Musa in 1413 at the Battle of Samurlu near Sofia. That win, as Neshri tells it, wrapped up the interregnum, leaving Mehmet as the one true sultan. He had his brothers executed to stop any more uprisings, a tough call, but common back then to hold things together. By 1413, Mehmet I had brought back the Ottoman state, grabbing lost lands from beyliks and tightening grip on Balkan vassals. Mehmet's time in charge was all about fixing what was broken. He beefed up the Janissary corps, making sure they stayed loyal with steady pay and training. The timer system, giving land to soldiers for their service, got expanded to reward the faithful and steady the economy. Mehmet rebuilt mosques, schools and markets in Bursa and Edirne too, funding them with those endowments called waqfs. He talked peace with Byzantium, pulling tribute from Constantinople, and tamed Anatolian beyliks like Karaman with a mix of talk and force. Marrying a Dulkadir princess sealed deals, shoring up his eastern side. By his death in 1421, Mehmet had the empire back to fullness, till strength before Ankara, earning that name Çelebi, gentleman or refined, for his smooth diplomacy. Mehmet's passing in 1421 put his son, Murad II, on the throne at just 17. Born in 1404, Murad stepped into a steady but shaky empire. Ottoman chroniclers rave about his wisdom and fighting spirit, while European reports like John of Ragusa's see him as a tough enemy. Historians like Colin Imber point out how Murad mixed war and diplomacy, pulling the empire together against rebels inside and crusades from outside. His rule from 1421 to 1451, including a short step back in 1444-1446, hit rough spots right away. a pretender backed by Byzantium named Mustafa, and fresh attacks from Balkan states and Hungary. Murad II's start was full of uprisings. The Byzantines let loose Mustafa, claiming he was Bayezid's son, to shake things up. Murad beat him in 1422 near Edirne, putting an end to that with execution. Then he laid siege to Constantinople from 1422 to 1423, hitting back at Byzantine meddling. The siege didn't take, but it made Emperor Manuel II start paying tribute again. Murad dealt with Anatolian revolts too, as beyliks like Karaman jumped on the changeover. By 1425, he'd put down Karaman and Germian, reclaiming Ottoman control with fast strikes and smart marriages, like one to a Germian princess. Murad's biggest test was in the Balkans, where Serbia, Hungary, and Wallachia pushed back against Ottoman rule. In 1427, he took Thessaloniki from Venice, a big trade spot, boosting Ottoman hold in the Aegean. His pushes into Serbia and Bosnia got tribute from local leaders, but Hungary under John Hunyadi became a real thorn. Hunyadi, a sharp commander, rallied Balkan forces against the Ottomans, scoring wins in the early 1440s. Murad, looking for calm, signed the Treaty of Edirne in 1444 with Hungary, giving up some Serbian lands for peace. Worn out, he handed the throne to his son, Mehmet II, who was just 12, thinking he could step away. Murad's step back didn't last. The Treaty of Edirne sparked fury in Europe, with Pope Turkiet Jean IV calling for a crusade to boot the Ottomans from the Balkans. In 1444, a crusader force under Hungary's Władysław III and John Hunyadi headed for Varna, ditching the treaty. Murad, called back to lead, crushed them at the Battle of Varna in 1444. Ottoman chroniclers and European reports tell of a fierce fight where Janissaries and Ottoman cavalry overpowered the crusaders. Władysław died. Hunyadi escaped, locking in Ottoman control of the Balkans. That win, as Halil Inalcik puts it, showed Murad as the guardian of the empire's edges. Murad's later years were about solidifying everything. He beefed up the Janissary Corps, widening the Devshirme system to bring in more Christian youths from the Balkans, turning them into loyal fighters. The Taimar system got tuned, guaranteeing cavalry and cash flow. Murad built mosques like the Ut Sherefeli in Edirne, and backed Sufi groups like the Bektashi, keeping the Ghazi fire alive. He kept trade going with Venice and Genoa, growing the economy. In 1448, Murad met Hunyadi again at the Second Battle of Kosovo, nailing another win that locked Ottoman hold on Serbia and Bosnia. In 1451, Murad II passed, passing the crown to Mehmet II, who'd become Mehmet the Conqueror. His rule had doubled the empire's lands from Albania to Bulgaria and steadied its setup. Murad's wins at Varna and Kosovo dashed European dreams of pushing out the Ottomans, while his talks with Byzantium and beyliks kept peace inside. His tomb in Bursa, next to his father's, stood as a sign of Ottoman toughness. But myths swirl around Murad, with modern shows like Dirilish Ertuğrul skipping him for earlier ones. The real Murad was a down-to-earth ruler who steered through storms to make the empire stronger. Mehmet I in Murad II's times were a game-changer, pulling the Ottoman state back from the brink and locking in its power over 2 continents. Their handling of the Janissaries, Timar system, and Waqfs created a solid state, while beating rebels and crusaders guarded its edges. The next episode dives into Mehmet II's rule, his taking of Constantinople in 1453, and the Ottoman Empire's climb to world superpower status, making Osman Fatih's dream real. Thank you for joining us on the Empire's legacy as we uncovered the stories of Mehmet I and Murad II, who rebuilt and strengthened the Ottoman Empire. What inspired you most? Mehmet's restoration after the interregnum? Murad's triumph at Varna? Or their shared resilience? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to follow our journey through the Ottoman Empire's history. Together, we'll continue to uncover the true story of the Kaya tribe, one episode at a time. Until next time, keep exploring history, and may Mehmet and Murad's legacy inspire you. Farewell.